care home today just to meet the kids and just to get to know them, but we're starting work tomorrow, but I feel a wee bit nervous for going in and meeting them and stuff because I'm just don't know what's going to be there, like I don't know what I'm going to say.
Everybody just to go and enjoy themselves, so don't be kind of like shying away and purring up and things like that there. You might get kids who want to do one-to-ones already straight off the bat, and you might want to get ones that are playing football and go straight in, whatever, but at the same time it's the experience.
I'm feeling nervous that I'm going to meet all the kids today, but I'm also excited. I'm scared to get emotionally attached because I seem to get attached to people easily. I don't think it'll be easy when we're finished and have to leave everybody.
I think today will be what just brings everything home. It's the actual reason why we're here. We're not just here to holiday and eat out. We're here to actually work with young people, to meet young people and try and change their lives as well as our own young people's lives. And I'm hoping that once they actually do meet the kids, it will set everything in stone for them to move forward.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to hit a brick wall and realise what we're actually out here to do, but at the end of it all it's going to be even more rewarding than the trip has been already.
Well, basically this center was founded in 1905, and we take all young people that comes from the community that has been abandoned, abused, all sorts of abuse in the community. And basically my job here as a child care worker at DCH is to find schools for the young people, get stationery, supports the child care workers who works with the young people in the rough space. So to supervise them to make sure that the young people they don't get the second abuse in the child care centers.
The need for the services that are offered by our organisation are based on the fact that South Africa has a very poor safety network for children who face various different challenges within their families. Poverty is the main issue, so we've got millions of children who require services such as access to food, children who need to be protected against various different kinds of abuses, and oftentimes the rights of children as well as their families are neglected or ignored.
These young people, as they're coming from the rural areas, they're coming in the community where they've been abused, a lot of abuse, and some of them they've been HIV positive. So they come here in our love space, child care centers, and then we will help them to develop themselves, and then we do the therapeutic program with them, so that when they go back to the community, they'll be able to stand up for themselves. So by having the students all over the world coming, especially Northern Ireland, it helps the young people to see that there are people who cares about them. And then when they're going back to the community, wherever they comes from, they will take that and then use it back to their community.
When we went out the home, I didn't expect the kids to talk to us because it was only the first day. But as soon as we went in, the kids were saying hello and hi and waving, and they were over to us like a shot, playing like the news when they didn't. They were all really excited, and I was really nervous when we went in. But after a few minutes, you felt like you were at home.
There was kids that I bonded with straight away. As soon as I went in, they were coming over and hugging us and getting excited that we were there, because I'm sure that doesn't happen very often. They just really showed emotion, and they weren't afraid to hold back. They were dancing and doing things you wouldn't expect kids that have nothing to do.
Just as soon as we all walked in as a group, they just came to us right away and took to us right away, and there was just like one or two that just came to me and just stuck to me for the whole time I was there.
I was expecting the conditions to be a lot more worse than what they actually were. When we got down there, I was actually surprised like how neat and tidy they were and how much of a structure they had to their lives. Like they have each day of their lives planned out, structure by structure. From what time they wake up what time they do their chores, what time they go to get their breakfast, what time they go to school, what time they go to bed, and every single day they have a structure and they have to follow it.
I'm hoping to see, like, if I can open my eyes more on what it has today, to see if it like makes me appreciate what I have more than what I feel it does. I'm looking forward to getting into the work, starting painting, and looking forward to playing with the kids again.
We're going to go over tomorrow, get all the resources, scrape the walls for where we're going to paint and stuff, and get on with the kids. I might be playing a football match with the boys again, hopefully.
Today we're working in a Macawa and we're painting basically the offices. Now the offices we thought were just going to be for the staff, but it's actually for the young people to come in to receive counselling and stuff, because some of their situations here, they are taken from their family settings and placed here for safety, basically, through their families being they're either through neglection or they're experiencing drug use and things like that there. So for their own safety, they come here and then they get to do school.
Can we get one more letter? Yeah. Put that away, somebody will rob you.
Yes, someone will rob me.
Somebody will rob you,
Yes, someone will rob me.
And Dora might rob you.
And so the group that's here today is really a godsend, because they're doing work in our office, and because our children come first, our office is always put last, and I sometimes feel really bad about the conditions that our social workers and child and youth care workers and admin people have to work under. But we were thrilled when Sarah Louise actually agreed to get this group to come and paint the offices, especially of the social workers, because that's where the children go through for their therapy. So we appreciate it so much. There's just no words to actually express how much it means to us.
So basically we came this morning, 9 o'clock start, and get stuck in doing the script, and everybody got involved. We'll have all the resources brought from home to here. Me and Robert went and got more paint and more stuff that obviously helped make the room that bit better from the resources that we did bring.
Today we went and started some of the painting in the offices. There was 4 people in one room, 4 people in another room. First we started scraping the paint off the walls, and then after that started painting the first coat. We're coming back to do more tomorrow, but after that we went to one of the wee homes where to play with the young kids for a while, and that's sadly, but it's good crack. They're all so happy to see us.
I'm enjoying it. Getting some hugs and it's cute. I'm emotional, and it's nice that they're able to show me affection back, because I'm sure that they don't get to show people don't get to show them much affection because there is so much kids here. So being able to sit with just one kid and spend time with one kid. I enjoy being with kids. I give them my attention, and I think that I'm easy to approach too, and I'm lovable and caring.
We played some games, so we played Duck Duck Goose and Chases. The kids just took to us right away during the games and they just had loads of fun.
Just seeing them all so happy makes me happy. There's one kid in particular that I liked and he liked me too. We ran about with him on my shoulders.
I want us actually to take the time to think about the quote that you want to say with everybody, because when we're getting up in the mornings and stuff, we want to remember like why we're here and kind of like think about the purpose of the trip and make sure we're bringing everybody together and working together as a team, because it is a long day and it is tiring with the young people, it is tiring when we're doing the painting, and it is kind of more or less a bit challenging on yourselves too personally, because there's obviously stuff that you're wanting to do and we're trying to fit that all in, but at the same time we're trying our best to do everything for you as well. Okay? So we're going to do Brianne's quote first.
The biggest source of motivation are your own thoughts, so think big and motivate yourself to win.
Everybody hands in. Let's go!
So far we've only really started working in the children's home yesterday. We spent the first day just getting to know some of the young people, and then yesterday we went in and scraped the rooms down and done a wee bit of an undercoat on the walls that were bad, and then we actually really got to have some downtime with the kids where we sat, played games, played ring around the garden and ring around a rosy, and to see so many young people, as in the kids in the care home, getting involved was just wonderful.
Today we're going back to the offices to start painting and decorating again, and then after we'll be playing with the kids. I just hope that I'm able to make a difference in their lives. The atmosphere today has been really good. Throughout the whole day, I think everyone's just getting up in a good mood today, just ready to start. And then what we've been doing today is just been painting we stripped all 4 rooms yesterday, and today we're just going to paint them all. So we're putting the first layer of coat on, and after that we're probably going to play with the kids for an hour, and then tomorrow we'll finish all the painting.
Obviously everyone's wanting to get in and get all the work done because we want to do it for them, hopefully show it in a couple of days time, show all the rooms that are done, and even help the workers try to do a better job from doing the rooms up because it hasn't been done up in such a long time. So everyone's enthusiastic about that and just trying to get their heads down and get all the work done.
The mentality, I think, just switched because everyone just got the sun. We've done travelling, everyone's just starting to get used to it now. Everyone's just starting to get used to everyone's bad habits, starting to get everyone used to good habits. Everyone's just getting used to each other and living in the same environment as everyone now.
Driving through the townships was heartbreaking, just seeing what they have compared to what we have back home, and things that I yap about that shouldn't be yapped about because I'm sure they wouldn't complain if they had it.
Nick?
Like, are they all alright, bro? Shout out.
I wonder how many of them there is, Connor.
It was brilliant to see. We had brought over St Oliver Plunkett, Willowbank and Tullymore, and because there's so many kids, we asked the manager of the curling could we divide them up into 3 separate teams, and to see all the kids running, they picked their number that they wanted because they've never had a football kit, and the dances they were doing and posing for photos because some of the kids actually used to wear, our kids used to wear the same number as them. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing to see.
Yeah, I know. Some of them were fighting over because some were Adidas and the other ones were Umbro and stuff like that. But once we got them out and we gave them the right sizes, I just think every kid was buzzing to actually receive that shirt. And once we started playing in it, you just see how generous it was for us to give them and how excited they were to receive it.
To be honest with you, mate, I was sitting thinking about this last night, and I was actually working out in my head. My wee lad's only 18 months and some of the kids we were working with was 2, and to see what some of the stuff that I buy my wee lad back home, like tents and tunnels and ball pits and stuff, that he hasn't a clue what to do with, and he just buy them because I can, and he doesn't, he's none the wiser. And to see like what actually kids have here, and this sort of, it's just a junk that I'm buying, just cause like, I feel like I'm rich back home after being here. And it actually making me rethink, like, he doesn't need all this stuff. He doesn't need 1,000,001 toys or big toys and small toys. He just needs you to be there at this age, and it's really reevaluating the whole process.
Playing with the kids yesterday, throughout all ages from the kids right up to the older ones. We played a football match with them yesterday, and I found it was really good, and I bonded with loads of people playing football. I think that's a way to bond without communication, without actually talking through football, bringing the 2 communities together who only knew each other within a day, and being able to play a match and being able to have the bonding that we had yesterday. I thought that was really good.
No, I played the best out of the whole team, so I found it pretty well. Scored a couple of goals, so everyone even coming together. It's such a worldwide sport, such football, and everyone coming together and playing that, and obviously donating the kits. It's just see how so excited they were just to receive a t-shirt.
We're just going to change it up, and rather than doing a debrief and everybody going around saying a word, so we're going to try and do something different each morning. If anybody has any suggestions or ideas for the next couple of days, all are welcome and stuff. So today we wanted to kick off with a motivational song, and I just want everybody to close your eyes and listen to the lyrics of the song without any words. And it feels
Come on, Taylor! Look! Go, Matt! Do your best move.
So after today's debrief and stuff, we've done a bit of a music, change it up, a bit of a motivational song to get everybody together, and rather than focus on kind of them and telling us how they feel, to reflect on the experience itself. So I think that worked really well today, and we came to the home in Amakawe, and we're painting. So officially we've got the 2 rooms painted, and as you can see, covered in paint, but having lots of fun, music on, everybody giving a hand, and I think that's what the experience is all about.
Gorgeous.
Some we've actually started painting, they have actually really persevered and they've got stuck in, and we can't really fault them. We were meant to do the 4 rooms over the space of a week, and we've got them more or less finished in say 2 days, because they wanted to work on late yesterday so that they had more time to spend with the children. So I can't fault them for that. Last night for me was like the first time that I've actually felt like we're actually on a holiday as well as work. We went to see the highest hill in Durban. Well, in my opinion, it's the highest hill because it's the highest hill we've been on. And we could see the whole of the city, the ports, the beaches, everywhere. And then we've stopped at a wee lake. Was it a wee lake? Wee duck pond. We drove past a couple of sand dunes and we asked people to stop to go and see, and then we went and it was the best. It had probably the best crack we've had since we came here. We got loads of views, loads of photos, loads of videos, and I got tripped up, which I'm not happy about.
The house we were in today was the rehab centre for boys, which they abuse drugs, addicted to drugs. Only 8 of them allowed in the house at one time. So they stay there for 3 months, and then after that then they get to go back to their families or back to their guardians, but they usually sleep like 2 in a room.
They have to admit that they need help. Because they don't want their child to take drugs.
Yeah, parents and them fight, bad relationship, and they don't want to come to rehab, but they have to admit.
It really made me think twice about alcohol, drugs, anything. Even if my mates say, come on, try, like peer pressure, it's not worth it what them kids are going through, just seeing what kind of drugs are knocking about here and what ages, like the woman said, someone at age 9 addicted to smoking like glue out of your shoe, like it's just terrible conditions.
When other people come to visit our center, it shows our young people that they are not in jail. You know, this is not punishment. It's some sort of a healing for them, because when you are away from your family, you are away from your friends, you may think you are being deserted. So when other people are able to come and visit and interact and play with them, then it gives them that sense of humanity, that they're still somebody. Because it may happen that them being involved in drugs, some people start to move away from them. Their family members start to move away from them. Their friends that they had, the good friends that they have, start to move away from them because now they are doing bad things. So when they come here, we restore humanity, we reclaim their lives to make them feel important again, to make them feel like human beings. Having, you know, them using drugs, maybe at home they won't even talk to them, they don't trust them anymore. They won't even leave them. They won't even leave a cell phone lying on the table because they may fear that they're going to steal them, the cell phone, and go sell it and then buy drugs. But when they come here, they gain this trust because we don't know them. We just meet them through the program, but we are able to trust them with the resources that they are not going to break them. They are not going to take my phone and run away. So they regain humanity. And they regain the sense of being a human being.
I was expecting to go to the rehabilitation centre and the kids to be more hostile and then it'd be hard to break into them and get a chat with them. But after I sat down and had a game of pool, the kids kind of opened up to me. One of the kids, Manuel, told me about how he is and how drugs affected him in his football career and how he wants to get off him and go back into football. Saying that was a motivational story that he told me.
else painted?
Me. Not me. What is this?
We didn't go till the younger group today, we came to the older group and we brought some nail polish and makeup and stuff for the girls and they loved it. And then I just received a letter from one of the girls that they wrote last night to ask me to be their best friend.
We played a few games earlier on, a thing called Stones, and it's more or less a heritage game and it's been passed down from generation to generation. Obviously we were that good compared to the other guys, they're pros and make it look so easy. But it was really, really good to actually try and just dive right in and give it a go.
The makeup and nail polish and stuff they don't get, so when we brought it, it was just like mad to them and they just couldn't get enough of it. It made me appreciate more what I have because before I came here I went and got my nails done and I paid to get them done, whereas they don't have any of this here, and when I came they just looked at my nails and were like, oh my god.
Just being able to get like your hair done and sit and chill and relax with them is just brilliant. They're showing me how to get them like their hair, and I said my hair is very tender compared because they're used to getting pulled. But it's a good experience being able just to bond over getting nails and your hair done, something so simple, but it's so effective.
The day went good. I like that getting on with the kids in the rehab centre and stuff, but I'm soaking wet because I'm in the beach at this time. It is getting easier. They're getting along with us, they're remembering their names. It's just so easy to get on with now, as on the first day they were nervous, with new people and stuff.
I'm shivering and I'm wet because I ran into the ocean behind me. And I'm a wee bit cold. Not too bad.
It was great to see everybody sort of clicking with certain kids. The girls were getting their hair done, they were getting their nails done. The boys were going for wee tours with some of the younger boys and some of the older boys. And then a few of us were playing football with the staff and kids. And everybody seemed to not sort of be in a group anymore. They seemed to just be dispersing and doing their own thing.
We were just showing them a lot of things that they don't know. We're showing them like what like our country looks like and like what way we live, and showing them my family members and stuff like that, and like who just the people I love, and my friend, like just showing people my friends and all my family, and they were happy to see out there and showing them cars and bikes. That's what I do.
Definitely. So it's been the most tiring for me after our football tournaments, but there's going to be another one tomorrow. So it's been a really good experience just to see, because we're never really down in the rehabilitation centre due to drugs and all like that. So getting a tour around it it was really good to get around though. And also with all the communities coming together, such as the care home and the rehabilitation centre, it was good to get everyone together and play football or discuss their kind of culture.
The realisations are that they can just be themselves around them. Hopefully they start to just interact more and they start to not need me and Mel as much. They're able to just wander off and make friends and get into wee friendship circles, and then there's certain kids that are remembering everybody's name and their kids are asking for them and stuff, so it's really nice to see.
We started off the day thinking we were going to the shopping mall. So we walked outside and seen a van, which I said was not Reggie. Reggie's our bus driver. And then Mel's surprises with a safari. We got pranked. That was the best prank I've ever seen. You know what? That was really cool.
So basically we surprised young people today with a safari just because of the amount of work that they were doing. We thought about giving it back to them and taking advantage of the once in a lifetime opportunity to come to a safari.
Is this us? Keep it open. Chuck, can I wake the lions up?
Oh no.
No, not on
An
those.
angry lion, even though they've been taken from the circus, but they are still predators. They are instinct predators, so we don't want to take any risk with them. So they've got the very simple rules. I doubt you guys will have problem with them. They're very simple. Number one, we close all doors. Two, we don't open windows. Even though you see that you've got a good shot, you want to take it, don't open the window. And whenever a lion comes closer to our tires, we'll be working as a team. More eyes, more better. So since I'll be focusing on driving, if you see there's a lion closer to our tire.
Poor guy calls himself Chuck Norris, as it's his kid's favourite superhero somehow, and he's told us everything that we need to know about every animal and stuff.
Chuck, tell him they have their windows open.
Say eyes are blue.
Look at him, man. Big scar.
Alright, so normally...
My favourite animal was the lions. You weren't allowed to open the windows, or like you weren't allowed to step out or anything like that because it's too dangerous. But the lions are my favourite.
If you are under 18, please do not watch. It's the amazing season.
Sacks. Oh my god! Doing the business.
The lions were class, but I didn't even realise how close we were until we get in. And then 1 minute they're lying down, the next minute they're up, active, ready to go. It's really scary. And I was laughing because we've seen them have intercourse. All the young people had to close their eyes. But then after that, they realised that somebody that was in a different car had their window open. And see them trying to sneak up and actually attack them. It was breathtaking.
Oh, she doesn't want it. She's not in the mood for it. Did you see it says it has a number? Translate my call out of each fucker. This is a white one. That's a sack. That's a sack that came out. Seen a man have sex. Saying I can hear an elephant. Saying I can see an elephant.
But it was sad because she spit it out.
They bring them over here?
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's taking her to us.
Emma.
The elephant stood out for me because I got there, go and pat it and get up close with it and be able to touch it and just feel for real. I was like...
Why do people call it like speed?
No.
We're seeing elephants and lions. They were my favourite part because you got right up close, and when I go to a zoo it's something I like to see, but I've never seen them as close as I got to see them today.
Okay, because you got to actually touch them and all, and we got photos and stuff.
The texture of this elephant's skin was spiky. I was expecting it to feel like soft and smooth, yeah.
Kiss. Shape on their butt. Yeah. That's how you identify Impala. It will have M. They call them the McDonald's of the forest. Unfortunately, during a fight, you can break and lose those horns. That means you'll never get married ever again.
just been like a dream come true. It's something I've always wanted to do, and being able to see my favourite animals like the ostriches and the wildebeest, lions, everything. It's just been unbelievable. Something that most people don't get to do in their lives. And the rhinos, like, because they're going to be extinct.
Aye, so with the poachers and all, obviously taking the rhinos, and just like the tour guide explained to us, they actually have to cut off the rhinos' tusks just so they don't get killed by poachers.
Mainly they're trying to breed as much rhinos as possible to bring up more numbers, simply because of rhino poaching, because of the tusk or the horns. So they're trying to put up more numbers. And one thing you notice about Itala, the rhinos we're going to see, they don't have the horns because they've been cut off, so that the poachers won't have a reason to kill them.
So far, yeah, it's been my highlight. Yeah, it's been the best experience of the trip.
All the fundraising and stay weeks has been definitely worth it. It's definitely made the trip that bit better.
When you're ever going to get the experience of this again in no other country, where you're ever going to see a lion like in its natural habitat, this is white buffalo in its natural habitat. So like I say, like Taylor said, you usually see it on TV, so see it in real life person, you had to grab it by two hands. And fair play to Mel and Robert, like surprising us with it, because like I said, we thought we weren't going to do it, so it's just an incredible experience.
Kettleman Museum, how the black people, they will move in township, in town, so that they will be inspired in township. If any question you like to ask, you can ask me.
Is it safe?
Yes, big yes.
We document the local history of Cato Manor, which is here in Durban, South Africa. The name derives from Durban's first mayor, who was George Christopher Cato. In 1865, he was granted this land. And then in the 20th century, it was divided amongst his family and other people. One of the people that were like renting the area and were able to buy, who were the Indian people who came from India to work here in the sugar plantations. They were able to buy the land and they built shacks and businesses. Because at the time, the Africans were not allowed to own any properties, businesses, and so forth. So in a way, this created a resentment amongst black people, because they were like, the Indians just came now and they have more rights than us.
And in isiZulu, it is called umkhumpa.
The Indian guy attacked the African boy, so this caused a rivalry between the races.
So they had to use smaller boats.
Hence, you can see the setting today, it derives from the history back then. It's very important because it restores the history so that the future generations can see. Also, at the moment, currently we have people want to land grabs. So you can see how that the history links to what's happening today. So it helps in restoring everything about the area.
got to do a bit more of the culture and the museums, and visiting one of the sites where Nelson Mandela himself came here in 1994, and actually it was the first time he was able to vote here, and being able to be and experience his presence and get a photo beside him, and the memorabilia of just being here and visiting the townships and everything else is just so overwhelming.
We just learnt the history of Durban and how other races came and basically threw the people of Durban away, and the troubles that they had, the riots, the killing, the violence, everything that happened, and how like Nelson Mandela and William Mandela tried to change that.
Well, we learned in the Heritage Centre that the whites come in and the Indians and just terrorise the blacks, and then the blacks decide to stand up for themselves, and then they chase all the Indians out of the village, and then they end up go into the jungles and get protected by police because blacks used to go in and hunt them because what they did to them. And then the whites came and built shacks for the blacks, and then they ended up having the blacks had to rent off the whites for their own shacks.
To be fair, whenever we'd done the big Cato stuff, the first thing that came to my mind was the conflict sort of back home between Catholics and Protestants and the Indians and the South Africans. It seems to have been a lot of similarities. It seems to be that the minority always tries to raise up and fight back and try and get back what they think is rightfully theirs. I don't think there's any right or wrong to either side of the conflict. I think it could have been, probably both have been avoided, but I think it's just a form of people being oppressed, and then once they think that one side isn't getting what's rightfully theirs, or they're being discriminated against, then naturally conflict's just going to arise.
When I went to townships, I was expecting it to be sad. I was expecting to see like broken houses and people who have no shoes and people who probably have no clothes, just people living in poverty. And when you like put it back to things that we have in life and we have back home, like when you realise if you sell even one of the things I have at home, like we could buy them as a house forever. And it's not nice to see, but like we're here to help, and we're here to do what we're going to do. We went to the children's home earlier with, we got to see the wee babies, the wee newborn babies.
Whenever we went to the care centre, their stories were different than the other ones because they were abandoned and their parents were on drugs and stuff, and it just really made me like upset. But the more I got to play with them, the more happy they were, because a packet of bubbles like that size just made them so happy.
Meeting the young kids was probably the hardest part of this whole trip for me. I'm good with kids back home, so seeing the kids over here and knowing that they have nothing, especially the newborn babies, really hit my heart. It was heartbreaking to see.
Myself and Mel personally, and the drive out and stuff, got to spend a bit of time with Peter, who's the managing director of the children's home that we're actually volunteering in, and we've discovered that Peter's on 5,000 rands a month, which is the equivalent of £250 back home. But I stupidly assumed that Peter, because Peter had a job and that would be a well-off job back home, that Peter would be able to afford his own house. And I asked him, has he ever done a township tour before? And he told me that he lives in a township. He can't afford his own house. He has to rent off the government. And I think it's really put stuff into perspective for myself and Mel. Like our dinner with Peter and Reggie was 3,000 rand, but we could have bought him a house for 5,000. It's absolutely mind-blowing to think in terms of that. We're thinking, we brought X, Y and Z amount of money to make the most of the holiday. And if you had to realise this at the start, you possibly could have changed somebody's life forever.
I think of because of the racism that's went on, because we've learnt that everyone's just human, we're all the same, and to be educated in that, especially in the towns that it went on, is amazing, and that the famous people like Nelson Mandela and Winnie Mandela were actually here, like stood here where we are. I think it's just amazing because now we've learnt that the riots that went on through the Troubles in Ireland can be compared to the Troubles that they went through themselves, all the violence and killing, and that it wasn't a nice place to live.
Seeing the poverty makes me appreciate what I have more. Just seeing all them shacks and Peter telling us that there's multiple people have to live in them, and they're just so small. It costs so much money to rent out as well.
The whole school was out running our bus. They were so happy to get toys, they weren't fighting over it, they were trying to get toys. Once one had it, if they were out, we handed out water and everyone just surrounded the bus.
Well, we had a few toys to give out and we called a few kids over and then we give them toys, but there wasn't enough toys, so we ended up just giving them the juice and water that we more or less owned. It made me feel emotional because we didn't have enough to give every kid. We tried our best to give out ice and water. We tried to give out everything that we had on that bus. We tried to give out. It was emotional, but at the end of the day, you can only give out what you have.
Robert, you're going to cause a stampede.
When we were all on the beach and everyone got their letters surprised to them, it was probably one of the best feelings ever, that we were all sitting together, we were able to read out how proud all of our mummies were of us and we're out to make the world a better place. It's going to be the best holiday ever.
Whenever she said that we got the letters, it just reminded me of my family back home, because when I've been here I haven't really actually thought about them until I read the letter. It just reminded me of them back home.
A few of them screamed, a few of them got emotional right away, because sometimes it's good to put the back of your mind about home. It's more, I think personally, when they're coming home, they're wanting to get onto social media, check up what's latest happening with their friendship group and things like that there. They talk to their parents maybe for the 2 minutes and that same is updated, and then the rest of it's just all about everybody else's life again. So it's kind of finding that balance of home life and friendship life and then realising why they're here.
I've never had anything like that. I've never thought of even having anything like that, and that there was amazing just to see everyone's families getting back to them, and then everyone was crying. But at the end of the day, it was a good cry, so I like that.
My reaction to the letter was I was speechless. I was broke down in tears after seeing my mummy and what she wrote about me, my sister not having anyone to melt or anything, and me and definitely do need to open more, as it's just made me feel a lot better about myself. Seeing everyone crying from the letters at home, but obviously I didn't. Well, I don't think I did anyway. Hopefully you didn't catch it on camera. But yeah, it was really good just to hear from home and hear how my mother is doing, that she is proud of me for what I've done. And it really does, just seeing what you actually do have at home and going out to such things as the township tour and seeing different ways of living, it just really makes you feel that you have everything you need at home. And for now, I know I do have everything at home.
All of us were emotional, I think we all shed a tear. Young men usually don't let it out, they usually try and hide it because they think it's not cool to let that out.
keep the rest of them playing for the kids. Right? Yeah, take a break, wait. No worries, Peter. Thank you very much. Cheers, all away.
Buat Arsenal.
I think young people have done amazing. They represent the Glenparent amazingly, and their parents and families done them all proud. I think the whole process itself leading up to it, we're all a bit apprehensive, but now we're going home, everybody's kind of more or less on a downer, even though we'll be so glad to see our own friends and family. It's more now that you actually made an impact on their lives, and they touched our hearts within the past 2 weeks, and it's just been an amazing trip. I've heard so many people doing trips like this, and they say like, yeah, it's speechless and it's overwhelming, but I think until each person tries this personally, they won't understand the feeling and what it means to be able to come over here and experience this once in a lifetime opportunity.
The living experience was good, but it was challenging, as most people were like, after being away from their families for so long, they were just getting frustrated and they weren't really enjoying it as much, but overall the atmosphere was good, and I would do it again, no sweat.
Didn't think I would see what I see and hear the stories that I heard, but I'm going back to Belfast to see my family and stuff, and just like appreciate stuff a bit more, just give a helping hand, and then when you get money, just appreciate money a bit more and appreciate food, and because over here like they literally have nothing.
I think now that I've did it, you realise that it's sort of African to community, and the sense that people have is probably as close to the Irish as I've ever came across of anywhere I've travelled. They seem to just get our sense of humour. They're always up for a laugh and nothing's ever taken too seriously, and they just roll with the punches and they don't complain, they just get on with it.
From being in the group, it's made me be more confident and outgoing, and I've came out of my shell a lot more than what I ever expected. And when I go home, I'm starting tech, so I'm going to be more confident about everything and be more like, know that I'm going to be able to do things better.
And this trip is just ticked everything, most things off the bucket list for myself, obviously with the shark swimming and the safari, meeting different animals. So just what I want to take from this trip is I want to travel the world.
My highlights would be that as soon as I went in, I made a bond with a younger child that's 2, and as soon as I seen him and he seen me, he just came over and hugged me, and every day that I went there, he always just stuck to me.
I think I surprised myself by being able to talk to the kids and get on with them. Like I didn't build relationships because I didn't think that's something I would be able to do, especially in the short time I had. I built relationships within a day of people, which I'll remember the rest of my life.
A highlight for me would be when I'm going down Macaway and do all the younger kids. And there's a younger girl, and every single time I go, she just comes up and she sits on my knee and she loves a wee snuggle, because I'm sure when she's there, she doesn't get that affection to herself on her, like by youth workers that's working there or aunties. It just seems that there's a load of kids, they're not getting like a one-to-one experience.
The group atmosphere was good. I loved every second, every minute with the group. It didn't bother me. We all had good crack from start to finish. Even now when we go home, we're still having good crack, and I don't think the crack will stop till we land in Belfast.
I'm definitely going to be coming back. This place has a special place in my heart forever, so just going to miss all the kids and seeing them all happy.
I've just loved it. I've got just stuck in, just really embraced it. The best experience there was being able to go and purchase the stuff for the braai yesterday and to throw a big party for them all. To put that kind of more or less event on for them and for them to be able just to kind of remember us by and go out with a bang.
Highlight is bonding with the children so much that when you are leaving them is emotional for you. So when the big barbecue we all had yesterday, like everyone partying, everyone having a good time, playing football, listening to music.
The braai was unreal, just every kid coming together, people from the younger kids home were down, they were just out on the ball all night, and it was hard leaving them as they all followed the bus home, and they were all like running after us, shaking their hands out the windows, fist bumps, everything.
What I want to take away from this trip is enjoy everything you have and don't take anything for granted. The people here aren't so lucky.
I felt like I've matured more since I got here, and from the things I've seen, it's just made me realise how lucky I am. But it's going to definitely make me think twice about buying stuff in Belfast and stuff like that, because these kids have nothing and we can just go and buy anything we want, really.
It took us a year to do like all the fun, and then now we're here, and then now we're going home. But I come over here and I've did everything I wanted to do and more. I've had better crack than what I thought I would have. So I'm going home on a high, and I can't wait to go home. But I don't want to leave, but I still can't wait to go home.
I want to thank obviously Peter, who took time to come on the township with us and spent a lot of time with us. and as we were in the centre and stuff. But I think the main thanks has to go to Reggie, the bus man. He's been everywhere with us. I think we could have adopted him, we would have. But as much as I've loved being here, I'm just ready to go home.
I'd like to thank everybody who's just came with me as a group, like my friends, the leaders, the driver Reggie, and everyone back in the home, because it wouldn't have been this experience without them.
The most person I want to thank is Mel and Robert, because without them this trip wouldn't have been possible in any way, shape or form. So what they've done from the start to finish of this trip, from all the fundraising to planning everything that they have done, I want to say a massive thank you to both of them, because I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
I'd like to thank Mel and Robert first of all, because without them the trip wouldn't be possible, and I would also like to thank everyone who came to Africa with us, including yourself, because without everyone here it wouldn't have been possible, from the fundraisers to raising the money. And I want to say thank you to the Durban Care Home for actually letting us come in and do a bit of work, because it's changed my life forever.
I would like to thank Robert and Mel for picking me to come on this trip. They've been like a mummy and daddy to me here. I've called Robert daddy as well. But yeah, I would just like to say thank you to Emmons and for everything that they've done for us, and the fundraising events that they've organised, and a big thank you to everyone that's came with me too, my friends and you yourself, for making this experience.
To the people that supported us with the fundraising, I'd like to say thank you, because you made an impact on all our lives.
I would like to thank Robert and Mel, definitely, because if they weren't here, they wouldn't have been able to take this trip. As they're probably two of the best leaders in the club. They'd be able to bring us to Africa, a group of young people, eight people, who are the most cocky people in the club, and be able to get them through Africa together. And it gets big well done to them too.